Welcome back, another live stream, HowtoDandD. This is character building, this is beginner character building, okay? I'm going to go over the monk. The intention was and has always been that I do the basics of character building rather than focus on you doing an optimized build or a power build. That's not really where I'm at. I'm going to apologize for my voice. I'm still struggling with this allergy. And it's going to be a bit difficult to talk at times, so if I get croaky or mucusy, that's the reason. So my suggestion to you is grab some food, some drink, get comfortable. There's a lot to cover, and I'm going to do a slideshow presentation. That's normally how I do everything, is a slideshow presentation. And then after I've done a slideshow presentation, I open up to Q&A or questions and answers, and we then make a character together. So you're going to be part of that process. But anyway, for those of you who have never made a character before, I'm going to put in a poll, but also too, if you are actually going to make a monk character yourself, and this is supposed to help you do that, my suggestion to you is get your phone, make sure your phone is ready, have it open, and then what I want you to do is use either a piece of paper or your laptop or your desktop computer to build the character as we go through the process. Okay, I'm going to be using D&D Beyond. You don't have to use that. You can use a fillable PDF if you would prefer. But the intention is that I help you build the character today so that you can do what you need to do. Okay, just because I make certain choices doesn't mean you need to make those choices. Anyway, I'm going to say hi to Dan. Dan is a patron, and I know it's very late where he is, so if he couldn't make it and stay, that's fine. Okay, so as I said, remember, slideshow, covering the basics, open up to Q&A, questions and answers, back to my face, then into actually making a character. That is the intention for today. And I have upgraded all the slides to 4K slides, so they should look a lot better than they did before, and we'll see if that's actually going to work. Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, because I usually do talk about Dungeons & Dragons. We could talk about Mortal Kombat, but no, this is actually a Dungeons & Dragons 5e beginner character creation lesson. This is lesson 1, and the basics around how to build a character. I'm going to hone in and focus on the monk today, so wait to the end of the presentation because that's where I will do it. So don't leave, make sure you hang around for that. So there are some things that we need to cover in terms of how I will lay this out today. So my overview, we're going to cover character creation, the pre-checklist, the things you do before you make your character. I want to go over the different character sheet formats that you can use, the character creation basic steps, advanced character details, some miscellaneous recommendations, and then I'm going to pick a character class and do the essentials and basics around that. And as I said, that will be the monk for today. With all of these types of classes, I have 3 focuses. I explain everything, I will demonstrate, and you will participate. If you are part of the live stream, you can participate, give me feedback. I'm going to ask for a lot of you to make decisions. So make sure you are ready, have dice, and are ready to select something. If you have the player's handbook open or any other books, then make sure you have them ready. Okay, if you weren't aware, D&D Beyond has a character builder for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. It's not all free. There are some free options, but a lot of it you do have to pay for. But if that would be something you would prefer to use, then you're welcome to go and check that out. I will be using that particular piece of software today when we go through the building and construction process. But there are plenty of other things out there that can do similar things. Now, character creation pre-check. What is that? When I say character creation pre-check, what do I mean? So I'm going to give you what I think are the important things, and more than likely what your dungeon master considers to be quite important as well. You need to check with your dungeon master what player character options are available for the game that is being run. What house rules does the dungeon master use for character creation, but also for how they play. how they run the game, sort of the basic rules around everything to exploration, social interactions, combat, the whole lot, because that might change the way that you decide to build your character. That will impact it. So you need to have that information, and I suggest that you make sure you can have that information at the very get-go. That should be part of session 0, okay, if you're having a session 0. Hopefully you are. Build the character for the campaign on the information provided to you. Now, if the Dungeon Master doesn't provide information, you're going to ask for the relevant details that will allow you to know a little bit about the adventure or campaign without giving away spoilers, so that you can make a character to fit the game or campaign or adventure being run. Not the other way around, okay? You build your character for that adventure or campaign. Character creation has always started as a group discussion. It's a group game. It is a game that is always generally played as a social event. So because it always starts with a group discussion, it means that you need to realize that your character is part of a team. Okay, you are a team. You're not Chuck Norris. You're not a lone wolf or anything like that. You're part of a team. So build a team member. You're actually, when you're making your character, your character's part of a group machine. It's like one of the cogs in a machine that makes it all work. So you're essentially, in many ways, playing a team sport. The only difference is that you sit down. Design the character around the 3 pillars of play. That would be my advice to you, so that you can do something no matter what is going on in the adventure or campaign. That is exploration. Make sure you can do something around that. Social interaction and combat. Now, a lot of the classes have specific focuses, that things they do really well. So what you need to do is, when you're building your character, you need to bleed in some of this other stuff so you can cover all of this. Otherwise, you wind up only being a sort of like a one-trick pony. You don't want a one-trick pony, because it means that 2/3 of the time you're doing nothing. Ask what ability score method is going to be used and when. Are you using point buy or standard array systems? Are you going to be using the rolling of dice? And when you're rolling dice for your ability scores, when do you do it? Usually, and I recommend that you do it this way, is make sure you roll if you're asked to, you're given the option to roll dice for your ability scores, do it in front of your Dungeon Master or in front of the group. Okay, make sure you know when the Dungeon Master thinks it's appropriate. This is to eliminate the possibility of anybody lying about what they rolled. Essentially, you're starting off, you need to be able to trust everybody, and this is sort of part of the fun, is being able to see what other people roll as well. Determine what hit point method is going to be used or allowed. So are you going to use the average that is given in the player's handbook, or are you going to be going with rolling of the dice? Again, when you're rolling dice for hit points, you need to be doing that usually in front of the group and the Dungeon Master, so that nobody feels like you might have cheated or made something up. There will be times when you'll find that you're not rolling dice because it's difficult for a Dungeon Master to track and determine if a player who's new has made a mistake. So it's sometimes easier for them to use the average. So don't feel like that's taking something away from you. Often that is just a matter of convenience. Right, so that is the pre-check stuff, the stuff we do before everything else. Character sheet formats. There are a number of different character sheet formats that exist. You have your standard paper character sheet where you use pen or pencil. I would recommend using pencil, because if you're using a standard paper character sheet, you're going to have to rub stuff out. And if you use a pen, you can't rub it out. And you don't want to be using twink. So just put it down in pencil, write lightly, but still visible. Okay. A fillable PDF for a character sheet is very good, because you can fill it in and then change the details as you're going. And you've got an electronic version. You then can print it out if you need to. Otherwise, D&D Beyond has a character builder. Yes, you can build it online, and then you can also print it out. I feel like the layout for that particular character sheet is complicated compared to the other options, but it does exist. There are also third-party character builders that have formats or different setups for character sheets that you could use as well. And pick the one that your Dungeon Master is happy for you to use, and the one that you prefer, because sometimes Dungeon Masters don't really worry too much about how your character's laid out, as long as the information's actually there. You know, the things they needed to know are there. Okay, Character creation basic steps. What are the basic steps for building a character? Select the level for your character. What level are you starting at? And write that down on the character sheet. Your Dungeon Master will let you know what level your character is starting at. Sometimes you start at level 1, sometimes you start at level 3, sometimes you'll start at level 5. Usually, if you're a beginner, Dungeon Masters will have you start at level 1 and start from level 1 and work your way through, okay? But if you're playing in a group where you're a bit more experienced, or the Dungeon Master is it doesn't like playing at level 1 or 2, and they play at level 3, start at level 3 or 5, depending on the campaign. So yeah, determine what level you're going to be starting at, put that down on the character sheet. So you don't always start at level 1. Select the class for your character, write it down, the relevant details on the character sheet. You'll find the classes in the player's handbook on page 45 to 119. When you're picking your class, again, I refer you back to, you don't have to pick the class that your group tells you to pick, but you need to be able to pick something that's filling the role that is missing, okay? And you might find there's 2 roles that are missing, but you want to try to pick something that you will like, but will also help the party be complete as a machine. Because remember, your character is actually part of a machine. They're not just a solo adventurer on their own. Unless, of course, you are playing solo Dungeons & Dragons. Select the race for your character. Write the relevant details on your character sheet. The races for the players are in the player's handbook on page 17 to 43. You'll find that most of the races are there that are sort of standard. There are other supplements available that have more races if you're interested, or provided your Dungeon Master allows them to be played. They're not necessarily going to be allowing them. There are a lot of also class and subclass features and other supplements that you can check out as well. But again, check with your Dungeon Master that those are actually available when you're playing your game. Select the background for your character and write down the relevant details on the character sheet. Backgrounds can be found in the player's handbook on page 125 to 141. You can also make your own background. Have it, obviously, with discussion with your Dungeon Master. In the back of the player's handbook, there is a section around customizing your background. That means you can take an existing background, make some changes to it, and you just get sign off from your Dungeon Master. I think you'll find that most Dungeon Masters are quite open for that to happen, because there are some guidelines around how to actually build your own background and it be consistent with everything else, okay? And I recommend that you take that as a real option, because sometimes you'll find yourself doubling up on skills, whether they are allocated to you through your race or your class, and then you wind up with a background that has the same skills, and so you can actually just change those out. Select a feat for your character if you get one, and write down the relevant details on your character sheet. Unless you're really if you're playing at level 1, and you're playing a variant human, then you'll probably have feat selection. Some Dungeon Masters allow players to have a feat at level 1, or when they start their campaign to start off with. You may be starting at a higher level. If you're starting at level 5, you'll probably wind up having the opportunity to use a feat at level 4, provided that feats are an option in your game. Don't select feats unless you check with your Dungeon Master that they're using feats in the game. You'll find the feats, or the vast majority of them, in the player's handbook on page 165 to 170, but there are more in other supplements as well. Determine the character's 6 ability scores with one of the methods approved by your Dungeon Master that you have decided to use. There are 3 methods, as I stated: point buy, standard array, and rolling for dice. That's all listed in the player's handbook on page 12 to 13. Your Dungeon Master might have a different way of determining that, but it's something to consider, and make sure you check with them. Okay, we've done all of our basic steps, but there's a few things we need to fill out and deal with as well, because we're not finished. And that is the advanced character details. Select the spells for your character if you have any. You may not have access to spells for your character. Write down the relevant details on your character sheet. You'll find all the spells in the player's handbook on pages 207 through to 289, but there are more spells and other supplements. One of the things you probably want to do, particularly when you're starting out, is when you write down the name of the spell that you have selected that you want to be able to cast, right beside it the page number in the book So you can go and, when you want to use that spell, particularly when you're learning those spells, is you can use it as a page reference. Okay, I'm going to be casting Mage Hand. That's that spell there, and I have a page reference, so I know exactly where to go and look it up, so I know how it works. So that you can do all of that. The page flipping is going to be quite significant if you're starting off as a spellcaster, or if you're just getting used to all the spells, because they are quite detailed and it's a lot to take on board. So page references beside spells is a super simple and very effective way to get around that problem. Select or buy the equipment for your character. Write down the relevant details on your character sheet. I'm going to say right now that I suggest you go with select your equipment and buy your equipment. Do both. So first off, you usually get a setup, a basic standard setup of equipment for any character class, and you'll take that stuff. Just take that, and then you'll have some money left over as part of your background. You also get some gear from your background, but what you want to do is take the money from your equipment, from your background, or whatever money that you've got allocated. Usually it's about 10 gold, and go and buy some stuff. Like go and fill it out. Get yourself a healer's kit. Every character should have one. Every character can use one, and that'll help you stabilize a dying creature without rolling any dice. So it would be silly not to get it, but there are other things that you can get that are quite cheap that will be useful in your game. So go and pick some equipment. Equipment is listed in the player's handbook on page 143 to 161. I've done a whole video series on how to use equipment, so please go buy it, go get some. Probably one of the most daunting aspects of character creation, and that is the maths. Calculating ability modifiers, proficiency bonuses, usually pretty easy to do. Skill modifiers, saving throw modifiers, armor class, hit points, initiative, passive perception, weapon attack bonuses, weapon damage formulas, your spell attack bonus, your spell saving difficulty class. Like, there's a whole lot of numbers that need to be figured out. And there's a particular way of doing it, okay? So we're going to not necessarily go into a lot of detail and show you how to do that today, but those are the sorts of things you need to do. This is why I tend to point people in the direction of a piece of software or a phone app that can do a lot of that for them, so they don't have to figure it out, because you can easily make mistakes, okay? Everybody did when they started off. Everybody who's ever played Dungeons & Dragons probably made mistakes on their character sheet, and they weren't intending to. Select or draw a character portrait can be really useful. It's not vital, but it really helps connect you, your concept in your imagination of what your character's like, to a physical medium, okay, such as paper or a digital image. So I would, you can draw it and nobody else needs to see that picture. It's fine. It's all right. Okay, so like everything that I do here, I always give some miscellaneous recommendations, things that I think will help you make the whole transition from never having made a character before to actually being able to make your own character. First off, character backgrounds can be anything you want them to be. There's no need to select an optimized character background or pre-made background. You can adjust things. You can make your own, okay? You just need to get sign off from the Dungeon Master. It's absolutely fine to have a background that doesn't synergize perfectly with your character class or your character race. It is a background. It's where you started. Where you started is not where you are now, okay? What race you select no longer has any real bearing on the character class. It's really flexible. It's very, very flexible if you're using the new rules. Check with the Dungeon Master which version of the races you're using, but you can even create your own. If Tasha's Cauldron of Everything now has a custom lineage. Now, if your Dungeon Master doesn't allow that, then of course it's not an option, but you may even find that Dungeon Masters have built or created their own races that you can select from as well. So yes, remember, your race does not need to synergize perfectly with your class. It is all right to play a dwarf that is a spellcaster and is a wizard, okay? And they don't have to be wearing heavy armor. It's all right to be like one number out compared to everybody else, okay? It's perfectly fine. Select adventuring gear. It's easy for any player or character to do. So there's no restrictions on any character doing this. So you should go and buy adventuring gear. And get the things that will help you prepare yourself and deal with issues and solve problems. You'll be surprised how many things are very useful. Rope, grappling hooks, pitons or iron spikes, the bags of caltrops, ball bearings, all those sorts of things can be really useful in your game, and you'll be surprised just how useful. So that is pretty much the basics around character creation and character building that I have for you for today. I'm hoping that this was useful to you, and if it was, fantastic. I want to know in the comments section what you find difficult about character building. But not only that, I would also I appreciate if you let me know what sort of monk or character you are building, where have the issues cropped up that you struggled with, so that I can refine this particular class and improve on it for the future. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Okay, just give me a second. I need to take a breather and I'll drink a water, and then I will continue on. I have been talking for the last 25 minutes, so I needed to just sort of at least stop and breathe. Okay, so now we're going to cover the monk basics. So you'll find that everything that I do here is certainly based a lot on my opinion, but also my group and some friends that I have. We've kind of gone through the monk and tried to distill it down to the absolute essentials. We're now getting into some of the classes that get a bit more difficult to figure out. So you may disagree with what I have to say. That's fine, but I'm still going to say what I'm saying. And if you disagree with me, go make a video of your own. Okay, but I don't want to lock you down to a power build or a optimized build. I just want to give you what I think is absolutely essential, and then you make all the other decisions yourself. Okay, monk basics. Dexterity should really be your highest ability score, because it directly is connected to how well you fight with your unarmed strikes. Okay, you can actually use strength or dexterity with a monk to punch something, hit something, kick something, headbutt it, whatever. Okay, it's tied directly to your martial arts skills, unlike other classes that have to rely on strength. So dexterity is the one you want to definitely make the largest. Dexterity also affects your unarmored defense ability. Okay, this is where you wear no armor, and you are a monk, so the chances are you won't be wearing armor. It's wise to increase the dexterity for your character to 20 reasonably quickly. Don't muck around with this. Okay. Constitution and wisdom are your second most important ability scores, because they relate to how well your monk survives in a battle. It also improves your unarmored defense, which you will definitely need, and it also improves your stunning strike feature, which frankly for a monk, stunning strike is probably the best thing about the monk. It's what makes it stand out, and you need to make sure that when you do a stunning strike, it will be effective. So you need to make sure that your constitution and wisdom are the second most important. I'm sorry I'm giving you 3 ability scores rather than just 2, but it just seems to be one of those things. At least your top one is your dexterity. It will also help with your defenses. Pick proficiency with any of the following skills. Unlike a lot of other classes that are usually tied or locked down to something, you've got a lot of variation with a monk. But I would say with a monk, you'll probably want to pick up something like acrobatics, stealth, or insight. And I would say probably acrobatics, stealth, insight are probably one of your top picks in terms of a monk. Any of those are probably fine. But the monk is flexible, so you can certainly delve into other skills. What you will find is that anything that is reliant on dexterity skills or dexterity-based skills will be the strongest and most effective. That means that your acrobatics, if you pick acrobatics, will probably be very good. It means that your stealth ability will be very good if you decide to select that as a skill. Okay. The easiest monk tradition to use is Way of the Open Hand. you will probably be disappointed by many of the other monk traditions that are available. They're very complicated to use effectively, but Way of the Open Monk is the easiest to understand. It will probably yield you the best results when you're starting out. Once you kind of get a grasp of how that particular monk tradition works, then certainly branch out and try some of the other ones as well. Monks are better off increasing their dexterity score before any feats. Like I had to have a long discussion with my group about this, and we finally came to the conclusion that with our monk, increasing your dexterity score to 20 needs to take priority over taking feats. The only exception that we could think of was the mobility feat. If you get the chance to pick up the mobility feat, it's probably a very good idea. The best feats for a monk, generally, as I've just mentioned, is mobility. I would say is probably at the top of the list. Lucky, alert are all good. Defensive duelist is not bad, but you would probably take that at later levels. And observant is actually very good for a monk as well. And this gives you a nice broad umbrella of things that you can do based on what the monk already does reasonably well, okay? And still plays to the 3 pillars of the game. That's the basics for the monk, and hopefully this is going to be useful to you. I hope it is, anyway. Right. It'll be interesting to see how the likes and dislikes work out with this. Very, very quiet today in the chat, I can see. Let's have a look at the poll, and then we're going to make a monk character. Now, for those of you who don't know, the best way to support this particular class continuing so that I keep showing people how to make a monk for the very first time and the basics around it is to support me on Patreon. You can pay as little as $1 a month, get everything that I download. I know if you're mostly playing as a player, you're probably not going to get as much stuff as Dungeon Masters, but there is some very good stuff there. And as I said, you'll find a lot of the notes around how to use adventuring gear, how to use some of the spells that are available in the game, just some general advanced game tactics and knowledge, stuff that is often lost to time. You know, these are the sorts of things we were taught many years ago that aren't really taught nowadays. Anyway, let's have a look at the poll, and then we'll start making this monk. Have you made a monk character for Dungeons & Dragons 5e? No, 22% out of 9 votes. Yes, 67%. Okay. Unfinished, nobody's got an unfinished character. Okay, that's good. Just watching, 11%. Okay, let's leave that poll there. And I'm going to shift over to my screen where I'm going to be... Oh, where is this? I just need to make... Actually, just give me a second. I will be back. I'm just going to put up this screen here. Right there. That one. I'm just putting up Arnold for a second while I grab my phone and open it up. Okay. Okay. All right. Phone is opening up right now. If you are wanting help building a character, I will certainly consider super chats and super stickers. We will build your character for you if you really want us to. Okay, right, so let me find the screen that I want. It's not that one. It's D&D Beyond. And where are we? I had a capture, window capture. Window capture is probably going to work. Window capture. There we go. Window capture. We've got it. Cool, cool. All right. Let's head over to our workspace and see how we go. So if you have never used D&D Beyond before, you'll need to make an account. It doesn't cost you anything. In the past, if you had a Twitch TV account, it would be the same thing. If you used to have like a Wizards of the Coast account, it would be the same thing. Okay, so you may already have an account with them. All right, so I don't think that's there. I'm going to go here, pull up my phone. And we'll walk you through. As I said, make sure you have your phone open so I can walk you through the process, and then either have a laptop or a piece of paper to take notes as we go. All right? Dong, 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 dong. Come on. Come on, baby. Too many devices going all at once. That's half the problem, right? Here we go. It should be coming up now. All right. Okay. There we are. We're live. The chat is not caught up, but I'm hoping that it will. And close and open. Is that going to work? All right. Okay. Let's hope that the chat does actually catch up. I don't know why it isn't, but it should be. It was supposed to. Anyway. Hashtag. Slash. What sort of monk are we making today? Now, I am going to go with the way of the open hand because it makes much more sense. But if somebody has a particular request because they are in the process of trying to figure that out, then that's fine. Question mark. All right, there we go. Right, so first off, over here to collections, my characters, we can go down here and select our options. There is another way of doing this, in other words, to open up more options, which we can do, which I will do. I believe I go to, is it my campaigns? Here we go, workshop, here we go. We'll go in here. It's not create a campaign. Content sharing enabled. View campaign. Characters. All right. I think that's it. I don't want to do that. View campaign. Enable. Right. I think it's there. All right. So we are actually not in the main area that we'd normally use. This is actually a campaign that I have joined. And so we made some characters last time. I believe we made a, I can't remember exactly what it was. Create an unassigned character. We'll do it here. Yep, we'll create an unassigned character. Right, so this is what this section looks like, right? When you go into yours, it's probably going to look a little different. So I will go back and show you the normal path for making a character would be collections, my character. This section is full, but I can go in and delete characters that are already here. So delete, you have to type in delete to get rid of one. Like so. So the free account allows you 6. If you want more, then there needs to be an account that you've paid for that allows you a lot more than that. Okay. We will select this one. No, it's not what I wanted to do. Go back. I wanted to delete this one, didn't I? Delete this one as well. Yep. Cool. All right. So once you go into collections and you go down to my character, you'll get to the screen. Delete whatever characters you need to. Select the create a character option. How's it going, Spirit Wolf? And then you have randomize, which is not what we're going to use. Quick build or standard sort of character step-by-step approach. I would click show text details. I'm not going to use this because this doesn't give me all the options. This would be the free version that is very limited in what you can actually do. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go back to where I was. And we're going to go into here. I'm going to go down. I'm going to create an unassigned character. I believe that is. Yep, that's right. As part of this campaign, confirm. All right, so this is where we basically start everything off. I'm going to turn on a few things. We can turn on that. We'll forget about homebrew. We can create a name. We can do it randomly, randomize it. So you can just press that button. There's also a link underneath that says Fantasy Name Generator. You can use that as well. Glinda, Medrine. Don't really like that name. I can't pronounce it. Urina, no. Wilrick, Anver. We'll go with Anver for today. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can go back and change the name. You can also type in the name that you want. So if I wanted to create a name, so like Taz would be sort of the character name I'm using right now. I could do that if I wanted to. And then we can put in an image of our NPC here with that little button there. But we'll do that later. That little plus thing, we can do that much later on. Come down, rolling dice is enabled. If you want to do that, we can turn on optional class features or customizing your origin. But you need to let me know in the chat if you want me to turn on optional class features or customizing your origin. Otherwise, we're going to stick with what we normally get. Okay, I'm assuming that most of you are just using the player's handbook and probably nothing else, because that's probably all you've got available to you. Okay, milestones, so you pick whether you're using experience points or milestones. Your dungeon master will let you know. I'm going to leave it on milestones for now. We can go hit points. Is it going to be fixed, or we can do it manually? I'll just go with fixed for now. So we can actually roll the dice physically and then enter the hit point process manually into our character sheet if we want to. Do you want feats on or off? We can turn them on or off. Multi-classing requirements probably won't matter because we're only going to go to level 1. But we can turn them on, that's fine. And then show a level scaling spells. Okay, that's there. It's on. Encumbrance. Are we using encumbrance? I'm just going to leave it on at what it was. Ignore the coin weight for now, I'd say. My suggestion to you with the ability scores and modifiers is the thing you use the most. Player's guide. Okay. All right, so we'll leave the other optional stuff. Got it, Spirit Wolf. So the modifier for your ability scores is the one your ability modifier is the thing that you use the most. So make sure it's at the top and it's the biggest number so you don't get confused. You do use your ability score from time to time, but it's very rare. It's very rare. So that would be my suggestion. We'll make this public for now. And then we will just scroll on over. Okay. So we have some choices we have to make. So when I do this sort of thing, so we've got a filter for what we can use. Right now I've got all sources available. Somebody said just stick to the player's handbook, which we can do. Hello Seeker, how are you? Hope you do a little bit one day, Fred, about the 3 times encumbrance options. Look, I don't like talking about encumbrance myself. I find it very unlikely that you're going to like what I have to say about the rules for encumbrance. But anyway, so we'll leave it to just the player's handbook for now. Okay, that means that the next time we come back and we do a monk beginner guide, we will do something else. Okay, we'll branch out a bit. Right, so we've got some options. We've got to pick a race. Although, do we want to do that? We could pick anything under the sun. It would be crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so let's pick a race. Hashtag pick a race. Okay, pick a race for our character. What do you got here, Seeker? Where's that? Oh, Overboard. Hello, Overboard Miniature Gaming. Overboard is a patron as well. And how's it going, Joe? Yeah, if you just need to listen, Goliath. Cool. Let's do a Goliath. I'm fine with that. let's find a Goliath. Down, 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 down. Goliath is legacy. And then we've got Mordenkainen's. So I guess we need to decide, do we want to use the Legacy Goliath from the Elemental Evil Player's Companion, or are we going to use the Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse version? Okay, which book are we using? Are we using hashtag, because they will be different, Elemental Evil, or Monsters of Multiverse? Yep, we're doing a Goliath. How about the Spelljammer races? Seeker, well, I mean, we could, but I think we'll just go with Goliath for now. The second one, Monsters of the Multiverse. Okay, we'll do the new one. Monsters of the Multiverse. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so racial traits. Little giant, bounce board. Okay, what have we got here? So this means we're going to get to pick a few things. You are a humanoid. Well, now we are medium-sized. Yes, I know we're Goliath. We're medium-sized. We have a walking speed of 30 feet. Every character does now. You are proficient in athletic skill, and you count as one size larger when determining carrying capacity. Weight pushed. Okay, we've got that. Mountain born. You have resistance to cold damage. Well, that's nice. You're naturally accumulated to high altitudes. Okay, hopefully that will actually come into play at some point. And then you have Stone's Endurance, which is the key thing that people focus on. That is, you can supernaturally draw on unyielding stone to shrug off harm. Whenever you take damage, you can use your reaction to roll a d12, add your Constitution modifier to the number rolled, and reduce the damage by that total. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So this is definitely much more modern compared to what we've seen in the past. And we're going to be dealing with this a little bit. So let's keep going. So Monsters of the Multiverse is making an appearance. Let's have a look. So there's a few things we need to probably do. I think we've got that mostly done here. B. I got B sorted? Okay. Yeah, so we're going to be customizing our ability score increases, languages, and alignment. Yeah, so that is fine. So we'll keep going. That's all good. I'm pretty sure that's right. Yep, it is. Okay, so we're making a monk today, so that's not going to be too hard to figure out. So we're selecting monk. Our monk has got a whole lot of things. We've got our unarmored defense. Remember, unarmored defense is based off your wisdom modifier, your dexterity modifier, and you add 10. So that's why I was saying your dex needs to be very high and your wisdom modifier needs to be pretty important as well. Okay, because of your defenses. Your martial arts is going to be based off dex or strength. So we're going to soak up into dex so you don't have to spread your scores around too much. It explains how that works. And the other things we don't need to worry about because you don't get them till later. Okay, so a few things we need to deal with here. We are going to be level 1. So this is the bar that drops down and you select your level. Are you starting at level 1, 3, 5? We are at level 1 today. So we get our maximum hit points off our D8. Our hit dice is a D8. So we get 8 plus our Constitution modifier, which will get determined when we roll for that. I'm thinking halfling monasteries. Are you? You're thinking halfling monasteries. How did that happen? So, hit dice. Don't have to worry about it. It shows you how it works here. Proficiencies. We will need to do this because we've got an exclamation mark beside it. I'm going to need a drink of water and a lozenge. So, do you remember what skills I had suggested? We're going to pick a number of skills for this character, okay? And we get a musical instrument or artisan tools. So because we get 2 skills, we need to sort of be selective. Hashtag. Pick 2 skills. Okay? And I will tell you what the options are. And I'm expecting one of them to be acrobatics or stealth or insight, but it can be whatever you like. So you're going to let me know what skills you want this monk to have. We're going to get 2, so pick 2, write them down into the chat right now. So you get acrobatics, history, insight, religion, stealth. Fire away. I am waiting for the input to come. And I will put my lozenge in my mouth. Next. Okay, so while I'm waiting for 2 skills, I'm going to go straight to the next thing. You're going to pick a musical instrument or artisan tools. Hashtag pick musical instrument. Or artisan tools. Okay, acrobatics, stealth. Okay, that's 2. That's fine. Spirit Wolf, I appreciate your faster response. That's good. And stealth, got him. Next, we need musical instrument and artisan tools. Now, if you're trying to type into the chat and you're not subscribed for at least 20 minutes, you won't be able to do so. Okay? So while I wait for you to do that, you've got armored, unarmored defense. We've already talked about that. Your martial arts. Your martial arts from monk is probably the most important thing to understand and how that works. On top of that, definitely something like your flurry of blows and your stunning strike. But that's how you use it rather than building the character. You've got me a loot. Spirit Wolf is on fire. Thank you for that. Loot. Let's find our loot. There it is. We've got our loot. Right. Cool. That's everything done at this end. Let's continue on. There is a button here. It says Manage HP. So this is where you can actually make adjustments if you need to. Okay. All right, this is the fun thing. This is where we're going to determine what sort of ability score method we're going to use. We also need to choose an ability score increase. So this is the new origins option that is available, okay? So we can have 3+1s or increase a 2 and a 1. So maybe we'll come back to that and we'll make that choice last based off what we get. So is it going to be point by, standard array, or rolling for our ability scores? So hashtag pick ability score method. At this time point, we've done this so many times now that I'm happy for it to be anything, frankly. I don't really mind in the slightest. So the first person to come through in chat, that's what we'll pick up, okay? As I said, if we're rolling for dice, we roll 4 dice, we take knock out the lowest number, and we keep the other 3 dice as our score, or standard array is a set number of scores that we just allocate to our different abilities, or we use our point buy, where we actually buy all of our ability scores based off a sort of a point system. Yeah, pick one. That's what I'm asking you guys. Pick one, standard array, manually, or point buy. Come on. Come on, people. Spirit Wolf's doing all the work here today. And one of the good things about the software package is it shows you all the maths here. Once we put our ability scores in, it will show you how you get everything. It'll all show up here. This is one of the reasons why I use D&D Beyond, because it shows roll. We're rolling today. So D&D has a dice roller. You don't have to use it. You could use your own physical dice. Doesn't matter. You can still put the entries in. So we just roll a dice. I'm going to make sure that you can see things clearly. Hopefully the dice don't roll into my corner. So I got a 6, a 3, a 2, and a 2. So one of the 2s is dropped. We get an 11. Right. Next one, we get a 6, a 4, a 4, and a 3. That's a pretty good score. That comes to a 14. We drop the 3. The dice are gone. It's got rolled into my corner here. 6, 4, 3, 3. So we drop one of the 3s. We get a 13. We're going to get some fairly average scores along here. That's fine. Nothing crazy. We get a 5, a 3, a 3, and a 2. So we drop the 2 because it's the lowest number. We get an 11. I got a number I can't see because there's a dice in the way. 4, 2, 1. There was a 5, 4, 2, 1. So drop the 1 and we get 11. A 6, 5, 5, and 8. Oh, 2 6s and 2 5s. So drop a 5, we get a 17. So we got a very high number here right now today. Okay, so we have some high numbers. Now, you remember how I said when you're allocating your ability scores, like dexterity should be your highest number. So we're going to take the 17, since it's the biggest number we have, that is going to go into dexterity. Okay, we now also have a 14 and a 13. And you're a monk. And you've also got to deal with the fact that you need wisdom as well. So constitution was the second most important, and wisdom. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 14 and put that into constitution. Stay alive is what we want to do, okay? The next one will make wisdom. Now we have 11s across the field. 11, 11, 11. 3 11s. It doesn't really matter what we make the others. I don't even need to ask you today what they would be or choose them because it makes no difference. So strength there, intelligence, charisma. Ultimately, what we have here is a relatively powerful character. It's probably above average, okay? We're going to apply the ability scores. There's a little green button underneath there. So once you've allocated them here, if you don't punt this button in here, you lose everything. So don't forget to do so. Okay, there we are. They're in here. Now, remember how we had that, we're using the new system, which is the character origins. So we actually have to pick what our Goliath is going to increase. Right? That's how it works. So we can pick whatever we like with regard to that. So here's our options. Are we going to go with 3 plus 1s or a 2 and a 1? Based off what we have, we can make a decision around that. We can think very mathematically about that. So I'm going to give you a choice. Hashtag pick origin system. So it was at plus 2, whereas plus 2 bracket plus 1, or 3 plus 1s. Okay, 2 and a 1. Big kid, thank you. You've made a choice. I didn't even have a chance to put it in. 2 and a 1. So now we decide where we put this. Here's the thing. You might be thinking, oh, we should stick the 2 into our 17 and make our dex 19. But mathematically, it really doesn't matter. And the next time we level up, we can actually sort of reallocate that. So rather than have it do that, we might actually be better off to make our 17 and 18, because that's really about as high as the modifier is going to get, is a plus 4. We're not going to get to a plus 5. And then we can use the 2 to put into something else. And I'm going to suggest Constitution would probably be very sensible. Yeah? But let's do that now. That's our dex. So we'll make it 18. And then the 2 we'll put into Constitution. So our Constitution is reasonably high. I think I would always prefer to have more hit points than have a higher armor class. Although there is a factor in play that says, you know, if you don't get hit, you don't have to worry about taking damage. Okay. You'll see all the numbers have changed now. So strength has stayed pretty much the same because we haven't done very much with that. Dexterity is actually now an 18, which means we get a modifier of +4, which is very high for a level 1 character. Okay, that's from our racial bonus that we placed and from what we had as a base score from what we rolled. Constitution is actually now a +3. Our base was the 14, that's what we rolled, and our racial is the +2 that I placed in there. And the rest, well, we have our intelligence, which is just 11. The base didn't do anything else with it. Wisdom is 13, which gives us a +1 to wisdom. And our base was 13. So nothing else changed here. So that's all pretty simple. We can now move on because we've made all of our selections using the new system here. Okay, right, moving along. Okay, so we picked a Goliath. We can probably pick an image for our character now. There's a Goliath image, that'll do. We're going to make some selections. We have to pick a language. This is based off our origin as part of the race we picked. So the race option, the language options are pretty extensive. So I'm going to put down here, pick a language, hashtag, pick a language. Now, I'll read out some of these choices and you'll tell me which one you like the sound of. Remember, we are a Goliath, monk. We haven't done our background yet, but it's coming up. Avian. All right, sure. Let's do we have avian? Is avian actually called something else? Or is it just not available here? I don't know why it isn't. Avian, scrolling down, looking for it. I can't see it. Hi, Big Kid. Big Kid is also a patron. I forgot to mention that. He joined yesterday, didn't you, mate? Okay. Hi, Scott. How's it going? Jaquel, the scholar. Did I get it right? Jaquel? Giant. Dwarven? Giant. I think we already have giant because we are giant, but I'll put down giant. Okay? I'll tell you what. We'll put down giant. You've made a choice. You've determined where we go now. Okay. Background. Got a lot of backgrounds here. God blimey. Pick a background. Remember, your background does not need to synergize with your class or your race in any way whatsoever. Just pick a great background that you like. Okay. Pick a background. Giant dwarf. Spirit wolf, nice. Fun in the sun. Okay, so I'll read out these backgrounds, and I'm pretty sure you've got access to everything. So you just let me know what you like. I got it right? Okay, good. Amazing. Okay. Acolyte. For a monk, maybe. Anthropologist, archaeologist, astral drifter, athlete. Don't know what the heck they call that. Nah. Charlatan, city watch, investigator, clan crafter, is a scholar, courtier. What else? Criminal, spy, entertainer, faceless, faction agent, Failed merchant, really? Far traveller, Faylost. Far traveller might work well. Faylost, fisher, folk hero, gambler, gladiator. What else? What's a grinner? Is a grinner? Urchin. Scott, you're in, mate. You're in. We got it. It's an urchin. Let's go down to urchin. Okay, here we go. Urchin. So we get a few choices. We get to pick, so we get sleight of hand and we get to pick something else. Right, let's pick something, shall we? Pick a skill. Pick a skill for our urchin. What's PI? Oh, PI was investigator. It's a bit late. I've already picked it. You got to be fast. Okay. Tool proficiency. We get disguise kit and thieves tools, which actually there's a lot of really thieves tools and disguise kits are pretty good. So the different skills, we have choices. We have animal handling, arcana. Animal handling would be fun. Deception, history, insight, intimidation, investigation, medicine, nature, perception, performance, persuasion, religion, survival. What's it going to be? I'm waiting for a skill. Pick me a skill, people. Pick me a skill. We have a whole lot of choices here. Whole lot of choices. And while I'm waiting for you to type in a skill, let's see if a look and see what else we got here. City secrets. I'm going to miss seeing these. I know people used to give them a hard time. You know the secret patterns and flow of the city and can gain passage through the urban sprawl and that others would miss. When you are not in combat. So it was always sort of viewed as, okay, animal handling. Mr. Spy Guy. Welcome to the party, Mr. Spy Guy. I am taking down animal handling. And thank you for your vote, Spirit Wolf and Jaquel. But we're animal handling it today. Here we go. Animal handling. Just because we don't have a really high ability score to correlate with animal handling does not mean that we can't take it. Okay, right. Now, just suggested characteristics. You need to get some dice out now. Insight. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This is what I normally do, is I get people to roll some 8-sided dice. 2 8-sided dice, then get out some 6-sided dice, roll 3 6-sided dice. You need to give me all those numbers. I'm going to put this in, and we'll go from there. Okay? So hashtag roll 2 D8. All right. So hopefully you got your dice ready. If you don't have your dice ready, then I don't know what. You should be carrying them with you. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Okay. So that'll give us our personality traits for the D8. And then we'll go through, and as I said, after that, you need 3 6-sided dice. Okay, so a 1 and a 7. So 1 is, thank you, Spirit Wolf. That was nice and quick. I hide scraps of food and trinkets away in my pockets. Let's do that. I like it. Let's do that. I like it. It's fun. 7. I don't like to bathe. Oh, no. Really? Oh, we'll put it on anyway. He's the stinky one. This is the stinky one. All right, so roll 3d6 is our next task. I'll see if I can get this typed in before everybody else starts rolling dice and putting the entry in. Roll 3d6. Yeah. On my streams, you always need to make sure that you have, thank you, Mr. Spy Guy. You are fast. Well done. You have to be fast because I always will ask for dice rolls generally. Ideals. So the first one is a 4 from Mr. Spy Guy. That is retribution. The rich need to be shown what life and death are like in the gutters. Ooh, okay. It's pretty evil. Let's do it. We rolled it. We're taking it. Next one. The bond. You rolled a 1. So that's going to be my town or city is my home, and I'll fight to defend it. Okay, all right, let's do that. My town or city is my home, and I'll fight to defend it. Well, we're dealing with a Goliath who is an urchin. Yeah, okay. It is unusual that we have a Goliath in a. This is a city boy. This is like a city boy, a city girl. It's like a city boy, city girl. I didn't realize exactly what we were dealing with here, but that's what we got. Okay, the last one that you've rolled, Mr. Spy Guy, is a 6, and that is for our floor. Our floor is a 6. People who can't take care of themselves get what they deserve. Oh, nasty. Okay, let's have a look at what we get. This is where it should start to show us a few things. Our alignment, I'm not going to worry about alignment. I'm just going to put neutral for now. Okay. You can enter your faith. We can select a lifestyle. Yeah, a stinky evil urchin. Yeah, that's right, Scott. Okay, so hashtag pick a lifestyle. There we go. We'll enter that. Pick a lifestyle. So what do we have to get? We have wretched, squalid, poor, modest, comfortable, wealthy, aristocrat. I think we know where we probably should be going. Wretched and squalid is probably, or poor are probably the most appropriate, but that's 3 choices, people. 3 choices. High. What is high? What is high? High? High, Spirit Wolf. Is that what you mean? Or are you referring to something else? I don't understand. High. I mean, you can't be referring to. Are you talking about aristocrat, Mr. Minimum, mate? He's gonna have no gold. He's got no gear. He's just got the clothes on his back. All right. So under physical characteristics, there's a drop-down bar here. You put in the hair color, skin color, eyes, height, weight, age, gender. So I'm just going to go male for today. Okay. Wretched all the way, Scott. Well, we have broken the bonds. An urchin who's actually an aristocrat. It feels like a very confused character, but we can kind of get away with that. So this here is where it shows us our personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. You can go in and edit them. So if you don't like what it says here, you can actually go in and change things out. I don't like to bathe. I'm going to change it to in public. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. Look, I'm just giving you an idea of what you can do. Okay, I am taking the piss a little bit. Friend of the biker chick from yesterday. Yeah. Was wretched, but then stole somebody's stuff and is now aristocrat. Okay, so then you can go down here and you'll see it says notes. This is where you can type in your organization. If you have an organization, any allies, you can add them here. There's a little green button that says add notes. Enemies, you can add. Your backstory, you can write into here if you want to, and then others for other notes. All goes in there. Okay, that is that section done, but we're not finished. All right, we have to pick some equipment. Like I said before, I always think it's smart to just go with a pre-packaged equipment set and then buy some stuff after. Now, in this case, we're not going to be having, we're not going to have much of any money to spend this time round, which is quite funny, I have to say. So let's do this anyway. You have some choices. So what I'm going to do, since most of the choices are made for you, is I'm going to get you to make a choice between a Dungeoneer's pack, an Explorer's pack, a short sword, and a simple weapon. It'll be the first person, so you need to decide, is it going to be a short sword or a simple weapon? Just write that in so I know, because we're doing starting equipment. Is it going to be a Dungeoneer's pack or an Explorer's pack? We'll see how fast you get this in. And then I am going to go and take a toilet break while you guys are typing this in. First choice is the first one I take. So you have to type fast, people. Pick short sword, or Simple weapon. Okay. If you know what the simple weapon is, then write down what the simple weapon is going to be. And then, short sword's already been picked. Okay, short sword it is. And then we need the Dungeoneer's pack or Explorer's pack. Dungeoneer's pack. Oh, that's fast, mate. Mr. Spy Guy is getting in there fast today. There you go. So we've got it. It tells you what's in the pack as well. And then we're going to have to make sure when you've got all these things ticked and you've selected what you want, you have to go down to the bottom here and it says add starting equipment. If you don't, you're going to have to do it all over again. Yes, you did miss a lot. RPG Ski, welcome, is also a patron and supports me on Patreon, so I keep doing all of the programs that I run during the week. There's about 5 different programs plus my featured live stream on a particular topic. So there's 6 a week. It generates a lot of stuff. So thank you. I only just noticed, RPG Ski, that you were a patron. So add the equipment. Okay, press the button. All right, there we go. Now, before I disappear, because you guys are going to come up with, let's make another character when I'm off doing stuff, like taking a break. Backpack, you need to put it in use, okay? Come down here, darts, wield them so that it does the maths for you, okay? This is the gear that you got. Short sword, equip it and wield it so that it does the maths for you. It doesn't mean your character's actually carrying it right now. It just means you don't need to worry about all of the mathematics behind that. So now we're going to go here next, because we've done our selection here. We know what we've got. And then we can view our character sheet. So looking here at our stuff, our dart is calculated, a +6, and the damage output is listed right beside it. Is it 1d4 plus 4? Our short sword, a +6 to hit, and 1d6 plus 4. Unarmed strike is shown here. It's going to be different. Remember, you are a monk. The way you do damage is very different to other people who do unarmed strikes. It's not 1 plus your strength modifier. In this case, it's 1. It'll be 1d4 at level 1 plus your strength or dexterity modifier, okay, depending on which one you think is the highest, and dex is the highest in this case. So that's how it's figured out for a monk, so it's different. I expect that the 1d4 at level 1 will change in the future, so don't get too tied up on that one. It's probably going to adjust. It shows you some of the different things you can do, such as your stone endurance, gives you your how your long rests work or your short rests work here. We don't have an awful lot we need to do with a barbarian. Once we've got those numbers in there, it can show us our actions, our bonus actions if we have any, reactions, blah blah blah. Not an awful lot to do at level 1 as a monk, and so that's kind of helpful. No spells to pick. Now we do need to worry about our inventory because we have 100 gold pieces. Okay, I know we've got 10 gold pieces. So we go to management, and I'm going to eliminate that because you've already spent all your money because you're an aristocrat apparently. So you are poor. Okay, you're very poor. Sorry, people, I've taken all the toys away. They're all gone. But yeah, this is what the character sheet looks like. Dexterity, all of your ability scores along the top, proficiency in the middle, walking speed about the middle as well, shows where your hit points are, your armor class and initiative in about the middle, and then it shows your skills listed down the side here. You'll find that the proficiencies that you have, your language and armor and tools and so forth, you can't see because my face is in the way. Okay, sorry about that. And then you have your passive checks calculated for you. That's your passive, your investigation, for perception, investigation, and insight. Yes. And then your saving throws are also listed here, calculated for you. You don't have to do any of that maths. Right. Now, I am going to go and take a quick break, but we still have time, which means I'm going to give you an instruction, people. And that instruction is going to be, you're going to come up with a race, a class. Let's go with monk. It's got to be a monk of some kind, but we can do any monk now because we've done the basic one we did before. We actually don't get to choose our monk tradition till later on anyway, so it sort of doesn't make any sense. What am I saying? So frankly, we could make anything. So we'll go race, class, and a background. Pick those, and I will come back and we'll decide which one to build. I think that is a fun way to deal with the end of our progress. So here we go. Hashtag pick class, race, and background. And while I'm taking a quick break, Arnold Schwarzenegger will look after you, and then we will make that. Okay? Sleight of hand is pretty high, yes. Oh, I'm back. I am back now. I'm looking for a race, a class, and a background, people. A Loxodon monk, road construction work. Oh dear. I think a turtle or Loxodon would be cool. Well, I think some look. Spirit Wolf has taken your idea. Like let's go back here. So we're dealing with a Loxodon monk construction worker. Is there a background for construction worker? Tail and a trunk. So I guess that's what we're going to do. let's go back to our workstation and get this get this done. Oh, good Lord. Lovely. Let me just go back and into here. I just need to make sure that I have actually got space to do this. View campaign. Okay. Create unassigned character. Do it again. Confirm. I think that'll work. Alright, so I got that page up. Let's transfer over to our workstation. Where are we? Window capture. Is it going to do it? Is it happy? Is it sad? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not happy. Okay, it did. It's updated. There we go. Right over here. Window capture. Okay, cool. That's that. Let us transition over. Okay, so there's a lot going on here with a peanut addiction. Good Lord, saber teeth. So, all right, let's get this done. So, we can turn that on. I guess we turn this on. We turn this on. We need a character name. Gen rich. That'll do. We'll turn that. We've got dices on. Optional character features, optional class features. We'll just leave that for now. Unless somebody specifically wants me to turn it on, I won't. Customize your origin. Do we have time right now? Milestones XP, we'll leave that fixed. We'll turn all that on. Turn all that on. Encumbrance is on because we have a choice. Yes. Ignore the coin weight and modify at the top. Okay, right. There we go. Let's get into this. So I've got to find elephant person. Where's the elephant one? Elephant. There it is. That's the elephant one, right? That's the Ravnica one. Okay. So it's got a specific way of building it. That's fine. Got that natural armor. So it's gonna be interesting because of the way our armor is calculated. Armor class is 12 plus your Constitution modifier, which actually means that Constitution's actually very important, which kind of plays in with what you were talking about anyway. So yeah, a monk, elephant. Here we go. Right. So we are increasing Constitution and Wisdom. Plays in nicely. That'll do. Powerful build. We've got that. Carrying capacity. It'll be not that exciting. Serenity. Advantage on saving throws against being charmed and frightened. Natural armor. We know we've just talked about that armor class calculation, which is a bit different. Trunk. We have a trunk that we can do things with. We got our keen smell. I'm glad that they have something. I'm glad to see they don't have dark vision. That would make no sense. And they can speak common and Loxodon, which is elephant person. Right, let's move on. Looking good. Right, so it's a monk, so we need to pick a monk. We've got all that stuff there. Add the class. We have some choices to make. We've got our hit points already figured out. Do we want to go up I wonder if we want to just make this at a slightly higher level than level 1, because, or even should we make it at level 3? Yes, I'm building it at level 3. Okay, if we get it done, we get it done. Not level 1, building at level 3. That's so we can use our Masonic tradition. So we're going to select that. But you probably know what I'm going to pick anyway. Okay, so sunglasses. Yeah, we could add sunglasses if you wanted. Okay, so this monk needs 2 skills. Hashtag pick 2 skills for our elephant monk. 2 skills. See how fast people get these things in here. Do away of the drunken master. I suppose we could. If you want to do drunken master, we could do that. But we'll come to that choice later. We're not there yet. So we've got 2 skills that we need, right? And then hashtag, I need you to also pick musical instrument or artisan tools. Hashtag, pick. First choice, first one I take. First, pick a musical instrument or artisan tools. Bam. Got it. What have we got here? Intimidation, athletics, harp. Right. So, got the harp. Harp, where's the harp? Harp. Do we get access to a harp? Why can't I see a harp? Is it harpsichord? Is it what have I missed here? Bagpipes, horn. I don't see harp. Pan flute. Are there no harps in Ravnica? Okay, so I can't select harmonica. I don't think we get a harmonica. It's not there. I mean, I'm fine with a musical instrument. You've got to pick one that I can select, though. It doesn't seem to be there. I don't know why. But skills, intimidate, and athletics. Okay. Well, you can put a question mark beside them, but Mr. Spy Guy, you said intimidate. If the intimidate's there, I'll pick it, but it's not. So your selection choices are acrobatics, athletics, history, insight, religion, and stealth. Somebody said athletics, so I'm picking athletics. Okay. Need a second one because we don't get intimidate with this monk. Okay, it's got to be something else. Bagpipes is good for you. Good. Okay, cool. That feels very Scottish. Bagpipes. There we go. Bagpipes. Bird pipes. No, it's bagpipes. There we go. Another skill that we can actually select. Okay. Well, no, I got the bagpipes already, Scott. Spirit Wolf got in there pretty quickly. So we need another skill. One more skill. It's got to be either acrobatics, history, insight, religion, or stealth. Acrobatics. Okay. You got to be fast here, people. Got to be fast here. Right, so we've got a lot of physical skills going on here, which means hopefully we'll pick up some other types of skills that are not so much around that sort of thing, because we won't be able to get them because we've already got them. Okay, unarmed defense is there. Martial arts is sorted out. We've got key points at level 2 because we're carrying a character's level, well, higher level than normal. We're not doing it at level 1, we're doing it at level 3. Here we go. So somebody said something about, what was it? Way of the Drunken Master. I'm sure somebody said Way of the Drunken Master. And since I noticed your comment, Mr. Spy Guy, I'm taking it now since I don't have to type anything in. So we're making that decision. You're Drunken Master. Can I just say that a Drunken Master is a very complicated and confusing subclass for a monk. We get deflect missiles, which is very handy. We get bonus proficiency at 3rd level and performance skill. And the performance skill of all things. But of course, drunken techniques at 3rd level. It's part of our flurry of blows. Okay, so we've got that all done. What else do we need to do? We've done this. Let's move on. Okay, we need to have an ability score method that we're going to use. Hashtag pick an ability score method. All right. All right, so I'm going to have a drink of water while you guys decide on what you want. Are we rolling dice? Is it point array, point buy? Is it standard array? Which one? Pick one. These are our choices. We have 3 choices that we have on this this platform. And then after that, I'm like, what do I do? I don't know. Point buy it is, Mr. Spy Guy. You are the winner for today's choices. So we need to go pretty high on Dex because it's a monk, right? Loxodon has some benefits. So dexterity, let's go 15 in there, okay? And then what was the next? Constitution was our next highest one. Well, you have a bonus to that already, so we can kind of muck around with that a little bit. Does it require alcohol? Nacho Man, hello Nacho Man. He's also a patron. Welcome to the party. Well, yeah, if you're going to play a drunken master and you don't have alcohol, like I don't understand what's going on. You've done something wrong. So Spy Guy and Scott agree, point by. Okay, so let's have a breakdown of how we're going to do this. What is the best way to make this work? We're not necessarily looking to optimize, but we still need a functional character. I feel like a 15 is not bad at level 3, but so what else do we need to do? That's the question. That is the question. Okay. So first off, we're going to make our choice. I'm not putting a dump stat in a character. I'm making that as an executive decision on my part. No dump stats. Dump stats mean that you're trying to do a one-trick pony, people. So let's do that. Let's get rid of that as a possibility. Spy Guy. 15 in 3 and 8 in 3. No, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's too much. We can get away with the constitution of 2. We can get away with taking a 14 and get a 16 constitution, which would be pretty bloomin' good, frankly. Like that would be nuts good. Or we could go wisdom and go with a 15 in wisdom. 15 in wisdom would be... I feel like we probably need to do a little bit of both, right? Let's see what that looks like. A drunken master and recovery program. Of course. So what does a 15 in wisdom look like? Because if wisdom is going to affect our... What is it going to affect? It's going to affect a few things. I'm just trying to remember what it is. It's unarmed defense, isn't it? Pretty sure it is. Unarmed movement, unarmed defense, unarmed defense. Yes, that is dex and wisdom. So it would give us a very good high AC. And then we put the rest into constitution. We could do that. Or... Yep, let's do that then. We can do that. We'll be a soaker. So 14. So we'll put a 14 in there. That makes a 16. And we can take 3 more points to go there. That makes that a 14. Spend all our points, 10 in the others. That's all average for intelligence, strength, and charisma. And we're done. Sweet. Cool. Somebody said something made and sped up my decision-making process. Cool. Love it. So strength is 10. Dexterity is 15 because we have a... What is it? A base of 15 in dexterity. Yep, that's right. Constitution is a 16 because we get base of 14. And we also get a racial bonus, which is +2 because we're an elephant. And then we get intelligence, which is just base 10. Wisdom is base 13 and get a +1 for wisdom because of our elephant person. And charisma is 10 as well. Okay, so that's all done. That was easy enough. Moving on. We need to pick an image, I think, obviously. Let's just pick this one. That'll do. Elephant person, done. Gendrich. We need to do the background. Now, somebody had said, what was it we were supposed to be making? For those of you who haven't figured it out, we are messing around a little bit now. Okay, we're just having a bit of fun. Wasn't it? It's some sort of street worker, a construction road worker, sign for construction. Yeah, construction worker. That's where we were going, weren't we? It was a construction worker. So what is a construction worker here? I feel like we might even have to make that ourselves. Maybe we have to make a construction worker. Custom background. Road construction. That's right. Road construction, Spirit Wolf. Road construction. Configure. This is getting silly. I am a road construction. Okay. This is the thing that you get. What is it? Oh, stonemason. Stonemason? Oh, that's an artisan, isn't it? It's an artisan. We can just do that. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm gonna start making something in front of here, and it's. So is it artisan? Which is it? I'm trying to remember what it's called. It'll be here. For the life of me, I can't remember what it's called. Stonemason, artisan, they all sort of fall in the same bracket, don't they? It's a guild. It'll be one of those guild people. It's a guild. What's it, the guild thing? The guild artisan. Guild artisan. There we go. Guild artisan. Thank you. That actually helped. I appreciate your input. There we go. We'll do that one there. Okay, confirm it. All right, that just speeds things up because I was getting silly. Okay, that happens. We need a tool. And you said stonemason, that makes perfect sense. So we need to go with Mason's tools because he's a road worker. And then we need a language. How many languages do we get? We get whatever language we like. So pick a language. Very good at mixing concrete or something. Hashtag, come on people. Pick a language. Ah dear. There we go. Pick a language. There we go. Let's see what we get. Alchemist. We can't be alchemist, mate, baby, because that's not a language. We've already got stonemason, Spirit Wolf. You said stonemason before, so I put down stoneworking. Dwarf. Fine. Good. Dwarven. Got it. Dwarvish. We've got our guild ability, which of course a lot of people don't know what to do with. Suggested characteristics. Okay, dice rolling time. Personality traits, ideals, bonds, flaws. Here we go. Hashtag. Roll 2d8. That's our personality traits that we need. I am waiting for your numbers, people. Then we will go from there. I don't know. It's a drunken master Goliath, who's a street worker. Should I say a road worker? 5 and a 6. Thank you, Spirit Wolf. I appreciate that. What is 5? I am rude to people who lack my commitment to hard work and fair play. Fair enough. We'll do that one. 5 it is. 6 is, I like to talk at length about my profession. Oh God, that's going to be boring. Can you imagine somebody talking about road working all the time? All right, let's put that in as well. Okay, we're going to roll 3 6-sided dice. Let's see if anybody can get the numbers in before I write this up. Roll 3d6. And I'm waiting. I'm going to have another drink of water. Let you guys do the work. Remember, we're doing ideals, bonds, and flaws. I need them. I need them now. Spirit Wolf, man. You guys must be... I will have set up all of you up who follow these with this terrible habit of carrying a bag of dice around with you. People are going to think you're strange. Okay, aspiration. I work hard to be the best there is at my craft. Okay, let's take that. That's good. That's an ideal. I like it. 4. What's 4? I pursue wealth to secure someone's love. Right. Okay, that seems very specific to something. Not sure what. 2. What do we got here? I am quick to assume that someone is trying to cheat me. All right, that's a flaw. Let's do that as well. Cool. Fine. So we don't think we have to do very much with this. We're going to not worry about alignment. Lifestyle. Pick a lifestyle. Please don't say aristocrat. I know somebody is. I know somebody will get it in there first. Pick a lifestyle. So pick a lifestyle. So wretched, squalid, poor, modest, comfortable. I don't want to read the other ones out because I'm terrified that you're going to go and put down aristocrat again. I have this nasty suspicion that somebody would want to do that. It's funny, but squalid. Okay, Mr. Spy Guy. Yeah, we got squalid. Thank you. Let's go here. So this is, we're not going to worry about filling all that in. We're not going to even worry about the gender because I don't really care. And we've got all our bits and pieces in here. We've got this. We need to do some gear. It's equipment time, isn't it? It's equipment time. We've got some money to spend today. So let's go here. Come on, baby. Come on. Thank you for your vote, Spirit Wolf, but it's done. Okay, so we're going to go with some equipment. We're going to go with equipment, and we'll make some choices just as before. You remember those choices, all right? I'm going to put in a hashtag. You can do the pick a short sword, or simple weapon. Okay, that's the first choice that needs to be made. All right, so while people are pumping in those choices, now we need, is it going to be a Dungeoneer's pack or an Explorer's pack? Hashtag pick Explorer pack or Dungeoneer. I think it's Dungeoneer pack. What do we got here? So we've got Tonfa hammer, Mr. Spy Guy. Man, you're getting there fast. Let's see if we could, do we get a hammer as an option? Light hammer. It's the light hammer. It'll be the light hammer. Fine. We're going to hammer it down. It's hammer time. Explosives. No, we can't put explosives in there, Spirit Wolf. But Mr. Spy Guy, we put in the Explorer. Okay, we've got that. So we've got darts. Oh, we need to select a set of artisan tools. Set of artisan tools. So it's pretty obvious what they need to be. Okay, we know what it's supposed to be. Where's the mason tools? There we go. That one there. Road worker, remember? Road worker. Make sure to press the red button so that it actually goes into... Okay, so we got it. Let's turn some things on. Make sure we have our backpack in use. It is in use. We put our turn our darts on, so we get the maths for that. Turn on the light hammer, so we got the maths for that as well. We're all good here. We've got 15 gold to spend. Oh, that's just asking for trouble. All right. Let us just go here. Right. So, what do we buy? That's the question, people. What do we buy with 15 gold pieces? Question mark. You're going to let me know. Brewer's kit. Sure, Todd. Hello, Todd. How's it going? Todd is also a patron and supports me doing these classes. Welcome, welcome. So, let's go into inventory. Manage inventory. And brewer. Ball bearings. I like it. Brewer. Brewer's supplies. That's the one. Add that. Let's just have a look and see what it is. It is 20 gold pieces. It is not going to work. We're not going to be getting brewer's supplies. Okay. Nice idea, but not going to work. So we can't afford it. Maybe later. Ball bearings. We might be able to afford ball bearings. We could get ball bearings. Might get ball bearings though. That's pretty cheap. Weight cost. Why is there no cost for this? There should be a cost for ball bearings. I've got to go to my player's handbook now to actually see where ball bearings are. A 1 gold piece. All right, okay. So we're going to add item. Yep, we'll add the item. to my backpack, and we will deduct the gold piece, and we'll go back here. What's our next thing on our list? Cast iron pot. A pot. Can we find a pot? Iron pot, adventuring gear. It looks like there's an iron pot. 2 gold pieces. We can have that one. Let's put it in my backpack. I've got an iron pot. Loading more. No. 2 gold pieces. Do got to remove them. Remove. Cool. That's good. Back there. How we doing? Next thing. Darts. Okay, we can have some darts. Extra darts is always good. Got to have some more darts. Dart. Dart. Come on, Fred. Get it together. Okay, there we go. Dart. How many darts do we want? Darts, range, piercing, gold pieces. We're just going to add. Did you say darts? Darts. Just 10 darts. How many darts do we really want? I'm just trying to think about this now. It's a hard question. Like, how many darts do you really want to have? Do you want 1 dart? Do you want 2 darts? They're only 5 copper. They're not worth that much. I gotta. It's gotta be increased a bit. Just get 10. Add 'em. I'm not even going to bother deducting the money for that. It's not going to be worthwhile even thinking about that. Caltrops, though. Caltrops is a good idea. Shiner 81. Thank you. I got that one. We're moving back here. Let's go Caltrop. Caltrop. There we go. There's the Caltrops. They are very cheap as well. Caltrops. Well. Yeah, so something like this. This is so copper. What is it? 10, 5, 50. There, remove, and then fail to remove coins. Fine. You're freaking me out, people. All right, so that's fine. I'll leave that alone. It doesn't like doing that. Next thing, but we need to deal with the Caltrops. Caltrops, where are we? There are Caltrops to be had somewhere. Caltrops are, a bag of them is 1 gold piece. So, did we get them? I can't remember. Caltrops. Caltrop, there it is. Add it. It's going in there. We'll go down here. Deduct another gold because it's just 1 gold piece if I remember right. Caltrops is that. Yes, it is. Yeah, what's next? 90. You want 90 of them. I don't think it's going to let me do that. 10-foot pole. I don't think we can get a pole. We tried that last time. You're going to have to cut a branch off a tree. Pole. See? Oh, 10-foot pole. There it is. Oh, we've got it. 10-foot pole. Oh, jeez. The pole is back. Pole. Pole. Can I remember where it is? 10, T for 10. 2-person torch. Don't understand why I can't find it. Pole, 10 foot, 5 copper. 5 copper. It's not very expensive, is it? Equipment, 5 copper. Let's go here. Oops, back. Remove. Oh, failed to remove. It doesn't like removing coins. Does not like doing this. This is one of the things that we need to remember. It doesn't like doing that. Can't convert over and take them from the gold to there because there's no copper pieces listed here, it can't deduct. Okay, there's a problem in that software package. I can tell you that now. With a sign on it, 90. Speed limit, 90. Darts. Bullseye lantern. Good idea. Let's do that. Bullseye lantern. Ever bright bullseye. Where are we? Bullseye. There it is. Bullseye lantern is 10. 10. Oh, nice one. Now we're spending some money. Okay, so equipment, and then we're going to take off 10, and I think we're going to be broke as after that. At least we can see. Remove! Okay, poisonous kit, if it's cheap. I don't think it is. Soap, always good. I think we can get the soap for free with the bullseye lantern soap. Got to be clean. Soap. To be fair, soap is actually very useful for other things other than just cleaning yourself. So we'll just grab a bar of soap. There we go. Bar of soap. Set of 3. I think we're out of money, mate. I think our coffers are somewhat exhausted. I suspect, in terms of how much coinage we have left. I think we're going to be out of luck with that one. Yeah, we're down to one gold piece. I don't think we're going to get the other stuff. Chalk, yes, you can get chalk. Yeah, we get chalk. Chalk. Is it there? Yes, it is. You can have a piece of chalk. There you go. Equipment pack. There we go. It's done. Lantern, poisonous kit. Okay, all right, well, we need to stop because I need to go to work and you guys need to go and do something else with your day other than hanging out with me, because otherwise this just gets silly after a while, doesn't it? And we have been extremely silly, but it's been fun, and hopefully it was useful to people. The bits where we weren't getting silly. I mean, there's an aspect to character building that's kind of entertaining. This is one of the reasons why I always encourage people to build your character together, because you will have so much more fun building the character than doing it on your own. And Shiner81, you're right, oil would be excellent as a choice as well. But we're going to leave it. We're going to stop, because I know if I don't, we're just going to keep going. And there is a point where I need to just like wrap it up. Okay, so let's end this poll. It doesn't look to me like that there were many people who were really looking to make a monk and had never done it before. 34% out of 29. So hopefully those people who were needing that help got it. And those of you who didn't really need it. Yeah, getting silly with D&D is one of the funnest parts. You had a great time, Mr. Spy Guy? Well, do this every week. Every week we do more character building. Like that's what we do. I pick a different class. We go through the basics and then we build something. And I've been using D&D Beyond, but I will be using PDFs in the future and real paper and pencil, and we'll mix it up a bit. Okay, but I need to transition myself out of here, because if I don't, I won't stop. And that's yeah. Okay. I just want to say thank you to everybody. I want to thank all of my patrons who support me by paying a small amount of money every month to make sure I can do all the classes that I do here. I want to thank everybody who's been part of my live streams, watched my live streams. Your participation makes this so much more entertaining and fun for me, and I'm sure everybody else, okay? Your input has been wonderful. Thank you for watching the replays of my live streams and my edited videos. I do appreciate it. And wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.